Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time no see. I know I've been living my life pretty much, and I wanted to come on here and just record how I'm feeling right now because I have big news. So I'm pregnant and I just found out a week ago. And Malcolm doesn't know yet, so I got started watching YouTube because of when I was pregnant with Mason, just doing the weekly tracking and seeing other people where they were at the same amount of weeks as I was, and just trying to figure out like what symptoms they had that were similar to mine and those types of things. So, backstory, I guess. We had started conversations about baby number 2, I want to say a couple months ago or so. But the big deal was like waiting for me to finish school. So you guys know I graduated in June, so I'm very excited about that. And I feel like a weight has been lifted, so there's no longer that looming like, okay, Julie, well, you have to finish school. So now that she mastered it, we had said, okay, I'm gonna stop taking my birth control pill in like July or August to possibly conceive early fall and things like that, because I have been on birth control again now for 3 years after Mason was born. And even more backstory, it happened so quickly the first time with Mason when I got off birth control. I don't know why I thought this time was gonna be different, but yeah, so I got my last period June 7th, and I was still taking the birth control, and this period happened to be a regular one. If any of you are on low estrogen, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, sometimes I wouldn't get a period at all, or sometimes it'd be like 3 days. So they wouldn't be long, and they didn't feel like real periods. However, on the 7th, it was like a 4 to 5 day period with cramping and was like full blown, like everything. So that happened to be the week of Mason's surgery, which I am doing a video on too. Mason had an umbilical hernia correction, so I'll let you guys know what that was all like in an upcoming video. This one's not going to go up for a while because I'm very early, so we have to wait till we're ready to tell everyone after week 12. So yeah, so Mason had surgery June 6th, and June 13th and 14th were my graduation. So I had my period the week before graduation. So by the 21st, I had made the decision to stop my birth control completely. Malcolm had gotten into an accelerator program for his business, so he has been gone all summer, and he'll be home soon. So, well, by the time this goes up, he will have been home for a while, but he comes home in August. So we were really pretty much just seeing each other every other weekend or so. So I wasn't as concerned about stopping my pill and getting pregnant right away because I'm like, he's not even here. We're not even seeing each other consistently, so it's fine. So I stopped my pill the 21st. I thought it would be interesting to stop the same day, the 21st, that I stopped birth control for Mason. In Mason's case, I stopped my pill, or I finished my pack, February 21st of 2015, and I got my period the 24th, and then we conceived Mason like the first week into the second week of March. So by April 1st, I had a positive pregnancy test, and I was 5 weeks pregnant. So it happened really quick. So yeah, so I stopped the birth control on the 21st. However, I did not finish the pack, so there were still 2 weeks of pills that I didn't take, which I think kind of like interrupted my cycle. So he did come home 1 weekend after that, and I took a test after the first week of July, and it came out negative. I just wanted to see, because I hadn't gotten a period, if anything had happened in June. I wasn't like banking on it. I wasn't hoping for it either. It was just like, let me see what's up, and it was nothing. So I did notice that the first week of July, TMI, but I was there was extra wetness in my underwear. So I was like, I'm ovulating. So that same weekend, or that same week, happened to be 4th of July, and Malcolm's birthday was his July 6th. So he came home from the program for a week, and you know, he was here, so stuff happened. And yeah, so he went back, and on the 17th of July, I couldn't take it anymore. I hadn't had symptoms like with Mason. Like with Mason, I had really sore boobs, and I did have cramping, which is why I kept thinking my period was gonna come, and then it never did. So I was like, I'm gonna wait and then take the test. So with this time, I started watching, the night before I took the test, I started watching videos of people who are trying to conceive, and they will test as early as 8 DPO, which is 8 days past ovulation. And at that point I was 13 DPO, so 13 days past the day that I feel like I was ovulating. I didn't do like an ovulation test because I've never done ovulation tests. I kind of like am pretty in sync with my body and know when I'm ovulating. And I don't think it was an intentional like, oh, I'm ovulating now, let's have sex. It was more so like, just happened, he's here, you know, we haven't seen each other in a couple weeks. That's pretty much what happened. So that day, the 17th, I took a test in the morning. I took the CVS brand of like the first response, and I will insert the picture here. But yeah, so the second line was faint, but you can clearly tell that there was a blue line there. So my reaction was kind of how it was with Mason. Like, I was, and if you could hear the noise in the background, that's Cole moving around in his crate. But I was very emotional, and I started crying because of several things. One, you're very like excited, and again, I didn't think this was gonna happen so quickly. Two, it was like the realization of, oh my God, my whole life's about to change. Like, I'm gonna be a mother of 2. And the third thing was that got me extra like emotional was thinking about friends and family that I have who have been trying to conceive for a while, and kind of like how much of a blessing it is for us to be at this moment or be able to conceive so quickly without any issues. So it was just a mix of emotions. I was crying. I did call 2 of my best friends. So 2 people know, Octavia and, well, 2 people knew, Octavia and Livy knew. So I'm gonna show you, and I'll see if you guys can like see it. So that was 13 DPO, and the first test I took that day, the blue lines, after like a day, they kind of evaporated and they were gone, well, the test line. So later in the day, I had went and picked up a dollar store pregnancy test. And if you guys are ever like, oh, the dollar store ones don't work, they do the same thing, sis, and they only $1, just an FYI. But yeah, I tried one of those, and I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it. It might be washed out in the camera, but it's like a very faint line right here. I don't know if you could see that. There's like a shadow there, but there's 2 lines. And that was on the 17th that I took that. So that was my first like, wow, you're pregnant. So this was not a conversation I wanted to have with Malcolm over the phone. This time around, he's been very like, yay, like, are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Like, did you get your period? Checking up on me every 2 seconds, possibly because he's not here every day to see like what's going on with me. Or possibly because he like really wants to be a dad again. We'll see. But he doesn't know yet. So he comes home tomorrow, July 24th. He'll be home. So I'm gonna set up a whole surprise to tell him. But because I have been watching all these videos of women like testing every few days, because I did get such a faint line because it's super early. That was 13 days after ovulation. And because I didn't finish my pack, I figured my cycle was off. According to my period tracker, I was supposed to get a period July 5th. Never came. So I'm like, if I didn't finish the pack by 2 weeks, everything seems to be getting pushed back 2 weeks because of when I ovulated, I think. So I was expecting my period on the 19th. never came. So, and I took the test on the 17th. So on the 19th, I took another test, and they came out like positive, like they like, sis, you pregnant. So I took a first response, and you can clearly see there's 2 lines there, like there's no line there. And I also did another dollar store one, and there's definitely 2 lines, like they're there. So the first of all, can I tell you, I had never taken a digital test, and the first response, I bought a 3-pack, and one of them was digital. I had to pee really bad and did not read the instructions, and I used it when it wasn't ready, and it never gave me a signal. So I was like, wow, I spent mad money on this test for no reason. Tip number 2, I guess, with pregnancy test buying: girl, don't go to CVS or no Walgreens or nothing like that unless you got coupons and they about to come out real cheap. Take your behind to Walmart or Target, because for the 3-pack of first response test, I paid $25 at CVS, and then I looked at my Target app and they were $15 at Target. So I was upset, but I also wasn't trying to take that drive. But yeah, so that was on the 19th, the Friday, and I was really like, wow, I'm pregnant, like pregnant, like. And then it was a good sign that the lines are getting darker, because it means that your pregnancy is progressing as it should. If the lines get lighter, it could have been like a chemical pregnancy where you're pregnant but it never actually takes. Because it's so early, it was kind of like the fertilized egg was kind of like still traveling through my system. And at this point, today I'm 4 weeks and 5 days, so in 2 days I'll be 5 weeks. And at this point, the egg will have like implanted in my uterus at this point. So there's that. And then, just for good measure, and me watching so many videos of people's lines getting darker, I wanted to check. So I did, and I took this one today, and this one is very like, compared to the one from Friday, you can kind of see, I'm trying to hold it together. You can see that these lines are the same, like the control line and the test line are the same, whereas this one has like a lighter line. So that does mean that like the pregnancy is progressing, which I'm very excited about. I think I'm psyching myself out a little bit by watching all these videos, because there's these women who are trying to conceive a lot of times, like they've had miscarriages, or they're using fertility medication, or like really tracking their cycle, and that's not my case. With Mason, I was I really wanted a child, and I prayed on it, and I've been doing the same with this one. It came as a little bit of a shock that it happened so quick, but since I found out, I've been prayed up, because I feel like that's really what I need to do. There's not much that I can do on my end to secure anything at this point, because it's so early. Eating wise, well, I guess I'll go over my symptoms. When I was ovulating with Mason, I swear I know the day that I conceived, because the next day I was cramping really bad to the point where I didn't go to work. And then later in that week I was cramping again. So with this one, we had sex July 4th. On July 5th, I tracked in my period tracker that I was having cramping and sore boobs again, and I'm like, but I didn't think too much into it. So that was on the 5th, and then after that, like the past couple of weeks, this past week, I was really bloated, like when you're about to get your period, but at that point, I already knew I was pregnant, so I knew that wasn't the case, and I just been tired. So I'll get home from work. I haven't gone to the gym in 2 weeks. I just kind of like been taking it easy. Not like I can't do stuff, but I just been tired. I'll get home from work and do what I gotta do around the house, and kind of like take a nap or lay down and watch TV rather than do too much. But today's gonna be my first day back to Zumba, and I don't want anybody to know, but I'll be modifying some of the things that we have to do to make sure I'm not putting too much pressure on like my uterus. Or when you're pregnant, you can get lightheaded a lot easier because of the blood flowing through your system and stuff like that. So that's something to look out for. And then at this point in pregnancy, at 4 weeks, the fetus is technically growing a spinal cord or a neural groove that will become the spinal cord, and the heart is forming. So hopefully we will hear a heartbeat when I go to the doctor. I have an appointment for August 5th. The first day when I got that faint line, I called my doctor because she'd be booked and busy. So I made an appointment early, and I calculated that at that point I would be 6 weeks, a couple days away from 7 weeks. So yeah, so I'm excited. I feel like it still hasn't fully hit me yet. I don't think it will until I see an ultrasound. So we'll see. And then I'm very excited to tell Malcolm when he comes home. So I made this label, and I'll show you guys in the how I told my husband video that I plan to make. But I made like a label that says like you have to drink for 2 because I'm pregnant and when the baby's due. And I'm just gonna like wait for him to like sit down and be like, hey, you know, I tried a new beer last week. Do you want one? And then like he'll probably say yes, knowing him. And I'll get it for him, but it'll have the label, and it's like me announcing. I also got Mason a Big Brother shirt. So I'll put that on him and have him just bring out the bag of pregnancy tests because I'm kind of collecting them to show Malcolm. Last time with Mason, like I found out in the morning, and throughout the day I took like a total of 6 tests. So I got a onesie and wrote him like a note, and the last sentence was like, you're gonna be a dad, and he opened it up and was just like, nah, yo, like he was stuck. And then left me and went to go call all his cousins to say, oh my gosh, call me back, like it's important. As far as Mason goes, he is going to be 4 in November, and he doesn't grasp the whole, like, I think he will grasp that mommy's having a baby once my belly starts to grow. But I told him like on Friday morning after I took the second round of tests that he was going to be a big brother, and in his mind becoming a big brother means that he would be his best friend AJ's big brother. I mean brother, not big brother, but brother, because AJ has a little brother who is my godson Avery. So yeah, so Mason doesn't know yet. So even if Mason is like on the phone with Malcolm and says something about brother, Malcolm already knows that he's like talking about AJ. So I don't think he knows anything. And to top it off, I kind of like, not kind of, I did lie to him. I'm sorry, I lied to him. It was a white little lie. But he asked me, because he's been on me about what symptoms I have and like if I felt anything yet, because he's really like wants to have a baby. And Friday I told him, even though I had taken both tests and knew I was pregnant, I told him I got my period. So he thinks that we did not conceive, that we're still trying. So yeah, I'm very excited to get his reaction tomorrow, and I think he's gonna be like super happy. So my plan is to tell him tomorrow, wait till August 5th to go to the doctor, hopefully get an ultrasound, and then we can share with my parents and his mom. And yeah, then announce to like the world. I don't think I'm gonna post anything right away. I'll probably just I want to make like a cute video and send it to my close family and friends. Just because with this one, like I have different stuff going on at work, so I don't want everybody in my business. So that's my plan. And what else was I gonna mention? Oh yeah, so at this point, hopefully, I don't know if they'll post anything, but my brother and his girlfriend are also expecting, and me and her are both due in March. So it's very exciting, and that's the plan too. So on August 5th, after my, well, August 4th, before I go to the doctor, basically, because my brother's off on Sundays, he wants us to like tell our parents together that we're both having kids, and I think my parents are gonna like flip out. They haven't like been on me for a second baby. Everybody else has been like, so when you have another one? My parents have been like, nah, so when y'all get in the house. But with my brother, my dad is kind of like, yeah, so what's good with you and her? Like, when am I getting more grandkids? So they're gonna be very excited. It's a very exciting time. So I'm looking forward to the next, 9 months. And I will keep you guys updated along the way. I plan to do weekly updates, hopefully, or bi-weekly updates. I'm not the best at having a consistent schedule, as you guys can see. But yeah, I hope you guys will subscribe to stay tuned to my pregnancy journey. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.